And he wasn't overweight. He was in very good physical shape, and he wasn't wearing sweat.
Where this kid told this story, for the first time in his life, this overweight, shy, awkward, healthy, lentil stain
pounds overweight or 50 pounds overweight. Because it doesn't matter, whatever weight you are. And
comes an addiction, and you wake up, which you thought was overweight.
Oh, yeah.
And then what?
Stress and preoccupation of contending with being overweight is rendered.
Because now there's about 1.46 billion overweight adults wandering around.
You're overweight, and if it's greater than 30, you're obese. There are
that further down there was an overweight guy leaning on the table and screwing up all of.
How many of them are overweight or obese? And the average answer.
And they may overweight that versus the track record of what you've got done.
50 pounds overweight. How? She was loving, she was sweet, she was caring.
Less, as you can see, I guess I'm not overweight anymore. More importantly, I don't have insulin.
Percent of Americans will be suffering from diabetes, and about 75% of us will be obese or overweight. We spend about $2.1 trillion.
If they could just control themselves, they wouldn't be overweight, and they're not motivated to change.
30% of the kids are overweight. Not only are they overweight.
Women who think they're overweight, again, regardless of whether they
overweight white guy, right? And just walks through the scene. But it was just incredible.
Overweight, overwhelmed, exhausted, unhappy, unfulfilled. So she decided.
With big ears or a big nose or overweight or whatever. They're just seeing a person that.
First time in her life was starting to become overweight, and she actually eventually became obese, and she was convinced it was related.
Drugs to treat overweight and obesity. So
connected to their future selves are less likely to be overweight. Among those who are overweight,
one that is overweight that has sleep apnea, which is a disaster.
They actually engaged a bunch of the overweight and obese Aetna employees, and they were actually.
Our risk factors for breast cancer, overweight and lack of exercise. So we are focusing on these two.
In 2005, I was 40 pounds overweight. I had high cholesterol.
And a man was walking towards me, and he wasn't overweight. He was in excellent physical.
And he took 56 guys who were very overweight. Now, they were between the ages of.
I was overweight, overwrought, overstressed. There was even.
People, we know that 69% of Americans are overweight, 36% are obese. We know that 80% of.
And it was being overweight by 40 pounds, which, if that sounds like a lot.
If they want me to know that they were overweight and they had a belly.
Obese, and the second third of the population is overweight. 25%.
Hate me is, he was a slightly overweight Jewish man from Great Neck who had a follow.
Overnutrition, if you're obese, overweight, that's the opposite, overnutrition.
Way too much and is grossly overweight.